Hi everyone, this is Mani and welcome back to SKSecOps. Today we will be understanding what is 12-factor app. So 12-factor app is a powerful methodology for building modern web applications that are scalable, maintainable and deployable in cloud environments. Let us understand the first factor, which is the code base. Here application should have single code base, which means having a single repository for one application in GitHub. Otherwise, it is treated as a distributed system. If we have four apps, then we can have four separate code bases. The single repository can be associated with multiple environments like development, staging, and production. This is about code base. The second factor is dependencies. Always declare them explicitly, like package.json for Node.js, pom.xml for Java, requirements.txt for Python. Make sure your application should carry everything it needs to run. So this is about dependencies. The third factor is the configuration. Never hardcode secrets like database URLs, secret tokens, and API keys in your code. So instead, store them in environmental variables or have a separate configuration file so that each environment can use its own secure settings. This is about configuration. Fourth factor is the backing services. Treat them as attached resources. Your application consumes these resources. Examples include MySQL, PostgreSQL, and Amazon S3. If the database is misbehaving due to hardware issues, your application administrator might spin up a new database server restored from a recent backup. So, this is about backing services. The next factor that we are going to understand is the build, release, run. So in the build stage, whenever we build an application, the resultant is executable file. In the container world, it is Docker. So either we can have executable file or Docker image in the build output. In the release stage, we are combining executable file with configuration file, and in the run stage, we are deploying these executable file and the configuration file into the respective servers like development, staging, and production. And important thing here is the configuration file will only differ, not executable file or any Docker image. And coming to processes, application should be stateless. Application should not lose any data. So here data should be in backing service like database. So this is about processes. The seventh factor is the port binding, where your application should run on its own web server and listen to a specific port like 3000 or 8000. Here, port binding simply expose your service to port so that we can access either with localhost or with its IP along with the port. So, this is about port binding. Eighth factor is the concurrency, which means application should be composed of small independent processes that can scale out horizontally. Instead of running everything inside one large process or thread, the app should break workloads into separate processes. For example, webs, workers, background jobs, etc. This allows you to scale each type of process independently based on the load. So this is about concurrency. The next factor is the disposability that tells that the application should start up quickly and shut down gracefully. This helps fast scaling, smooth deployments, and reliable recovery after crashes. To achieve this, avoid long connection waits and keep initialization light. This is about disposability. Next factor is the parity, where your deployment, production, and staging environment should be as similar as possible so that you can catch bugs early and deploy confidently. To achieve this, we use same database, same operating system in all the environments. This is about parity. Let's understand the 11th factor, logs. Logs are treated as events of streams. Here, your application or microservices should write logs to standard out or standard error like console and not to manage or store them itself. We have some platforms like Fluentd. This agent will transform and sends logs to some tools like Splunk so that we can analyze and monitor these logs. This is about logs. The last factor is admin processes. Admin processes are one of the tasks or management commands that you run, like DB migrations, cleanup, and any debugging. So these are 12 factors that can be used with your application and also in microservices. These are the 12 factors. I hope you have enjoyed the video.